Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth
and sell it on the internet really fast.
I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit. We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hello.
Welcome to our show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how the decisions you make will affect the rest of your life. Great show today, Jill. Let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com, our free online community.
Cool. All right. Chazz asked, just trying to get ahead of the game in case this happens. But I was wondering, what if I come across someone with multiple lots that wants to unload? Can they all be put on one deed? Or would it be better to make them all separate and just write one fat check when the notary meets to sign? Should I create a purchase agreement for each? Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, this is a good question, and it comes up a lot. And not comes up a lot. It just comes up every once in a while, and it's worth explaining in very simple terms. The answer is yes. In fact, Jill and I do it all the time. We buy property, a ton of property on a single deed. Jill and I have literally done one deal with thousands of properties on one single document. And then you sell them off individually. And there's nothing wrong with that. It happens all the time. I think it gets confused because we use the car title analogy a lot. And you certainly can't put like more than one car on a car title. They're all individual. Mm-hmm. So, but no, yes, the answer is.
That's my first choice too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it wouldn't be great if you could. What if you're a dealer? I mean, I'm sure dealers have different things, but if I'm buying.
You can.
Say if I'm a dealer and I'm buying 10 Priuses, I don't want to do 10 versions of the same thing. I just want to do one with the 10 on there. So,
right.
Yeah, you can. And that's a great thing. It's the same, as long as it's the same grantor, and the grantee,
right.
Of course, is you.
That's the key, I guess, right?
So
Jill.
you just got to make sure the grantor is exactly the same. It can't be one has husband and wife, and then one has just the husband. They've got all. Then you have to do different deeds. But if it's
That's
all
a great
just
point.
the same seller, and it's all worded the same and everything, it's just going to be great. Put them all on one deed, knock yourself out. Hey, the recorder's like a 2. They only have to record the 1, and you could save money on it because you're only sending in the one form. So, and the notary's doing it once. So it's all much easier. And those are my first choice. I look for those now, by the way. When I sit and scan our acquisitions.
Yeah, me too.
With stuff going down,
Which one's easiest?
Who's got multi things on there? Okay, I look at is it multiple units? Do I want it? Are they all alive? There's a few things that I look at really quick. Seriously.
I know, I agree.
I scan for some issues and make sure, and then I go, all right, now let's look at it.
This can happen to you, listener. Mm-hmm. I mean, it can easily happen to you if you send a ton of mail out. Mm-hmm. We have multiple members. We have a couple members who join the group and send out, literally 25,000 letters in a week after they learn what they're doing, and they're just inundated. And they pick the best ones, and they make a ton of money.
Maybe not 25,000, but
I have 2 examples.
6,500. I remember one went, we're like,
I have 2 examples of recent members who have sent out that much mail, and
they have help.
Yes, they have help.
See, that's the thing. It's not like it's one random person.
They've been in the business. They've been in the real estate business, so they know. They have a little bit of. They came to us with a little bit of experience,
Would you recommend somebody new? Okay, so I'm like, where are you going with that? I would not recommend someone starting out. I would recommend, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 to start with.
Yeah, 1,500. If you're brand spanking new in the industry, totally 1,500. If you kind of know how to convey deeds and stuff, maybe 3,000. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when
I'll
they come
tell you
back,
what you want to do long before you do that is get a website up, get all that stuff up because, and I say this in our programs, all of them, because once that thing hits the mail, man, you're going to be doing deals, mm-hmm. and you don't want to be doing the website at that time and trying to figure out what phone number you're going to use and all of that. I see that happen a lot. Well, let's send some mail out and see what happens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, be ready. Exactly.
Today's topic is the decisions that you make will affect the rest of your life. Jill and I did a show about this, relatively similar show, almost a year ago, and it's been very, very popular. And I wrote the title to this because there's someone near and dear to us who's making some decisions right now that I wonder if they're maybe the best decisions to make. And I'm about to have a conversation with that person and explain to him in very simple terms that the decisions that you're making right now are going to affect the rest of your life. But in terms of this show, this is the meat of the show, by the way, you can make some real estate investment decisions within the next 30 days that really will affect the rest of your life. Am I stealing your inspiration thunder here?
No, I'm just kind of sitting back going, okay, I'm just about to, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to put my feet up and I'm about to get comfortable.
Because you can feel it?
Yes. No, and it's a good thing. I hear a nice talk coming and I'm good with that.
I say this to very young men, specifically who work with Jill and I. And we don't have any super young men working with us right now, but they come and go. And right around those late teen, early 20s years, the decisions that we all make, really, whether or not to get married, whether or not to go to school, what to invest in, all those decisions like that, they affect the rest of your life. And you can just as easily make a decision to get into the real estate business, after you're done with work and start learning about it and doing some deals. It doesn't take a lot of time or money. It takes a lot of commitment, but not a ton of time and not a ton of money. So I don't care what age you are, Jill. You can start making those decisions right now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
A lot of people, they start in this business, regardless of age or experience, and they think that it's all about that real estate deal and finding that right piece of property, and it's not. It's about analyzing data, using data, and then making the right decisions. It's not so much, I live in a place where this just wouldn't work. It has nothing to do with that. Everything to do with analyzing data. I said this sentence to a super good friend of mine recently because he was shocked and amazed that we have most of the people on our staff are tech people. And he's like, well, what does that have to do with real estate? And I said, look, we're just a tech company who happens to sell real estate. All this stuff applies to other things. And he looked, because he's a tech guy, he's like, what the heck? And I could see his eyes starting to think, well, maybe I should get involved in this. I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What decisions have you made recently, Jill, that you think are going to affect the rest of your life, good or bad?
Where I live?
Hopefully not bad. Oh, that was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Do tell.
Well, I live in 2 places. Maybe more someday. I don't know. And so making that decision was partially business driven and partially personal driven. So, making these decisions, I hope that you think about it from all different angles. I guess that's it. Don't be selfish. So make sure it's the right decision for you personally. Make sure it's the right decision for you financially, and make sure it's the right decision for your people. But whatever age you are, I mean, this is it. This is it right now.
Michael Jackson was right. This is it.
Right now, wherever you are sitting listening, whether you're in your car, on a train, on a beach, in a coffee shop, in your living room, wherever you are listening, this is it right now. And the next decision you make, are you going to get up and do something? Are you going to sit here and let the evening go? Are you going to show up at the office? This is it. Can't go backwards. You're only going forwards. I'm turning really inspirational here, but anyway, it's, and my big thing is it doesn't matter how old you are, because I hear people all the time that say, oh, I'm past that. And that makes me so mad. Oh, I'm 50. Oh, I'm 60. Oh, I'm whatever. So what? It's not too late.
I literally had a person work for me a lot of years ago, and he was right out of high school. And he said, man, I could have been an engineer. I could have done this. I could have done that. And I stopped what I was doing. And, sometimes boys, they need to be you need to be demonstrative, almost tough love with them. They just don't listen the way girls seem to listen. And I probably was across the line and really kind of shook him and said, listen, man, you're 19 years old. You can do anything you want. And I would have said it to somebody who was 59 years old. Mm-hmm. Do anything you want.
Wait, the 19-year-old was saying I could have been an engineer?
Yes. Yeah.
How's that possible? Because I screwed up my first year in college?
You know what happens is that he wasn't going to college.
So what? So it's
You know what ended up happening with him?
Yeah.
He went and became an engineer in school.
Oh.
And
Do I know this person?
yes, you do. I will disclose it. They got married on our boat, first boat.
Oh. Okay.
And he's doing great now. He's got 2 kids.
The sister.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
They have 2 kids, and he's an engineer. I'm not sure what kind. And I think, or maybe he's not an engineer, but he went off and did go to he got at least a 2-year degree and did something technical.
Okay.
So, and I think the root of it is that what happens with this kids that age, and I think maybe even older people, they see their friends, make some decisions earlier in their life, maybe 4 years earlier, or I don't care what, and they're doing well, and they sit there and say, "Man, I should have done that." But I mean, I know people that are in their 40s going to medical school.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so cool.
So do I.
I think it's really good. Well, what's nice, I think, too, I noticed this a few years ago that people re-careering, remember there was a big downturn. Well, we're coming out of it now. Remember that everybody's losing, jobs are hard to come by a few years ago. A lot of people were displaced, a lot of layoffs and cutbacks, right? So I would hear a lot of people and people that I know that were re-careering not by choice, but by force.
Yeah.
They were forced to go re-career. And then at the end, most people I talked to were grateful for that. Like,
Right.
You know what? Yeah, I got laid off. I couldn't get a job. So guess what I did? I always wanted to be a nurse anyway. Now I'm in nursing school.
Isn't that great?
I know.
When those things happen, it's great to go. That's a perfect time to go back to school.
Instead of looking at it like a bad thing, oh, here I am. I'm still unemployed. It's been 2 years because we know those people. They did something about it. And, it's never too late. And whatever it is, you just do it.
I read a career paper one time, a long time ago, and it said that people who are determined and wealthy and successful, if they lose it all, did a study, like multiple decade study. During the downturn, when they lose it all, it takes about 2 years for that person to get right back to where they were, regardless of the resources that they have. Just because I
believe that because I know people that have done that. That's about right. Wow.
Yeah, I personally have multiple real estate based friends who that happened. Like they came back from bankruptcy,
right,
and they're right back where they were before the whole thing.
Yeah,
they just know what to do, and they have that self-confidence. So
I know someone in the medical profession that had an issue, and it took 2 years to get back on their feet. Mm-hmm. So interesting.
This is the technical 2. 2 minutes of property investment advice from our 15-year, 15,000 transaction experience. I had it.
Jack's looking for something technical right now. This is great.
I know. I'm all inspired. No, I really had it. And
here's the technical 2. I got it.
Can you do it?
Yeah, technical 2. Be ready for whatever life throws at you. Like the technical 2.
Oh, you know what it was? Have a side business. No matter what you're doing, have a side business. I know.
Funny.
I met a medical doctor once. This is when number 3 kid was really like in preschool. And there's a medical doctor there with the same age child. And he created a business because his child was born with severe food allergies. So he created a mail delivery food business that was specific for the kids who had food allergies. And within 2 years was done with being a doctor completely. And he loved that. He was not happy about being a doctor, but it was a great story. Even medical doctors have little side businesses.
Well, and it came out of a
Always
need.
Always have a side business. Yeah.
I mean, that's the greatest thing ever. And it was like a need and a passion for it because it was for his kid.
He told me this funny story. So it turns out,
awesome.
Here's a backstory really quickly. That's hereditary, he said. Okay, I don't know this.
Was it a peanut allergy? What was it? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
It was multiple allergies.
Oh, okay.
He said it's hereditary. Please don't email me if it's not. And with all this, that's what he said. I don't know if it's true or not. So, but anyway, he said he called his sister. So he was born in the Philippines, and all of his whole family's in America now. And he called his sister and said, "Remember when Grandma's head used to get the size of a balloon?" And we would say, "Oh yeah, Grandma's head's the size of a balloon again." Turns out she had an allergy to whatever.
It's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
And nobody really, wanted to figure out why
Kids,
Grandma's
nobody
head
knew.
was the size of
Yeah.
a balloon once a week.
That's funny. Maybe Grandma shouldn't be having X, whatever it is.
Good thing you're not allergic to vodka, Jill.
Oh my goodness. Where did that come from?
I'm just joking.
Oh, no.
I indulged enough for the both of us. I'm just joking around.
Thank you.
Hey, if you have a question or you want to be in the show, call 800-725-8816. Inspire us, Jill.
It's hard to be inspirational after the whole show is inspirational. And what I wrote down is really a piggyback of this, which is, it's the rest of your life professionally. And I think that's what we were talking about. But I want to talk about some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Do
fun
some
stuff.
Do some fun stuff now. Not only is it the rest of your life professionally and with your people and
I
your
like
world
this.
and your career. I mean, we're talking about your career and, reinventing yourself, whatever. I just want to say, cut loose. And that's one thing about Jack and I. There is no shortage of cutting loose.
There really isn't.
We are pros at that. So, and you have to be really careful. Because if you could do it wrong and be instant gratification, and then you're so far in debt. So I'm not saying take that cruise. I don't care if you don't have any money. Don't do that.
No.
But I'm saying do some stuff. Do some stuff. Don't wait. You know what? When I hit at that birthday, I'm going to do X. Take the surfing lessons now. Do the whatever you want to do now. Jack came back and did a motorcycle thing again that I'm okay with now. So in the right place now. It's not like on the freeway every day.
Right.
So there's, and
Just be smart
everybody
about it.
wins.
Work it into your life.
But don't wait. Do some
It's great
stuff
advice.
now.
I was watching Shark Tank, and the guy on the end who owns a sports team, what's his name?
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He always
I
has
like him
been.
too.
And so I was watching him. He very rarely buys. He just gives advice. If you
He's
ever
pretty
notice,
good.
he
He
doesn't
just
buy too
sits
many.
back. He doesn't, yeah.
So, but I noticed a theme to what he says, and a lot of it is this: just stop whatever you're doing. If you don't want to do it, stop it. And I've heard him say this multiple times. If your bills are too high, I don't care where you are in life, get 6 roommates and stop. But your time is so valuable, especially if you have the entrepreneurial type personality. Don't waste your time paying bills. I'm going to get email for this. Stop what you're doing. Get rid of your bills, whatever you need to do.
Oh, that kind of thing.
Just get
Not like ignore the bills.
get control. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's one way to get rid of bills.
Put them in a box. Put them in a box back in the closet, and then go have some fun. That's Jack's advice. Get rid of your bills.
That's exactly what Jill does, actually. I'm not joking.
That's right. I don't know where they are.
Not bills, but it's out of sight, out of mind a lot with Jill. And it's just a big mess, and I'll go in and clean it up. Not even figuratively. I mean, literally. Anyway, his advice is get rid of this stuff. And, I don't care what you have to do. Get control of your time.
Yeah.
And, don't waste it another minute if you're killing yourself working for somebody else. And we have some members who have pretty high level, large company positions, VP and up, and they hate it.
Yes.
That's all they do is complain about it. They work 80 hours a week. They don't even have time to do to work on this stuff. Mm-hmm. If that's you, man, take some vacation time and do whatever it takes to figure out getting out of that awful cycle. A lot of times your house or your apartment's too expensive, and on and on and on. You got to get rid of that stuff. Work on the stuff you want to work on, even if it's start all over.
Do you really need that new car? No. Get rid of it. Don't make payments. Do it right.
Get a skateboard.
Have some fun. Get a bicycle. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Then you're it's,
it's not far-fetched.
It's not crazy at all.
If you don't like snow, get out of there. There's lots of places
Oh,
in this
that's a
country
good one
that don't have
too.
snow.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I mean, look where we are. We joke about that. You know what? They have dry cleaners everywhere, and they have doctors everywhere. Move.
We know some people, some friends who are contractors in the Midwest. He was a contractor in the Midwest, and he said he moved out here and said, it's not frozen half the year like it is. There's twice as much work in contracting because it's not frozen here.
It's true.
Simple stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
And inspiration, that's me.
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Good show, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
I love your inspiration.
Thank you. The whole show was kind of inspirational. I really like that and appreciate that. And
I think we all have a lot more control over stuff than we think.
oh, we absolutely do.
You know, I know you're famous for saying that. I got really, not since I've known you, but I got really hung up in that. I think it comes with Midwest depression, and suffering. You know, in the Midwest, apparently you get a trophy for suffering the most. Everybody sits around and tries to suffer.
That's fine.
Whoever's suffering the most wins, which I don't understand.
Exactly.
I get 1 million emails from Midwest people now.
Well, what's interesting is we all get caught up in it, not making time for the things that are important. We think that we can't. We think that we shouldn't, and taking those chances. Oh, I can't possibly do that. What? And that's one of the things that I have said to everyone, not just our kids, but everybody's kids and all that. I'm like, there's nothing you can't do, and that was my big takeaway from, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was, there's nothing you can't have. You just got to figure out a way. That's it.
Right. What you're famous for saying? What is it? How does it go? Like, figure out what you want and work backwards.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Where do you want to be in
deconstruct
whatever it is?
Step by step by step.
Yeah. Okay, let's work it backwards and make sure we're doing it the right way. Find somebody who's there and who did it, and then follow them. Learn from their mistakes, which is like you and I.
Make sure you want it first. That's you can get really hung up. I thought I wanted to be a medical doctor for a long time, and I spent some time in that environment and realized I wasted some time and found out I did not want to be that at all.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thing too. Yeah. Find someone, and everybody's flattered by that. Find a mentor. Say, can I just follow you around for a day, or gosh, ask you some questions or something?
Find someone except me.
Right. I mean, you're so silly. But I mean, talk about flattering.
I'm not joking.
You are
I'm just
such
totally
a liar.
joking.
You mentor everybody.
I know I
You
do.
are
I'm
so
totally joking.
lying. This is what you do, by the way. So
I know.
like kind of your whole thing now.
We have an employee right now who's incredibly interested in buying and selling real estate. And it cracks me up how many people have worked with us in the past that just don't really have any interest in that. Mm-hmm. This one's got a legitimate, honest, heartfelt interest, and it's going to be fun to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land,
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
and really fast. Thanks for listening.
Let's go buy some property.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.